Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. The big news today is that the Thomas Lemar deal is dead. That is according to Arsene Wenger. He said those words in his press conference today, that the deal is dead, the deal is over. If I can get his quote here, he said, it's dead because Monaco have closed the door definitely. So Thomas Lemar, the #1 target for Arsenal since they've signed Lacazette, will not be joining Arsenal Football Club. That deal is dead. So who else will they go after? Will they chase another player in that position? Or will Arsene Wenger just look on it and say to himself, well, Alexis is back, I've got players who can play in that position, and that is it. He also, in his press conference, when asked about transfers, said that he's still working on ins and outs for the transfer window. He was asked about Mustafi, which I found very interesting. Let me see if I can find the quote again here, on the exact quote here again on Mustafi. He was asked if he's expecting to sell Mustafi, and he says, no, I don't expect. It's difficult for me to talk about any individual cases. It's always very difficult to predict what will happen and how will you respond to, and how you will respond to any situation. Now that seems very strange to me. That sounds to me like he's not saying 100% that Mustafi will not be sold. And of course, Mustafi's been in recent days linked with a move to Inter Milan. He's been linked with a move to Juventus. Now that is very open there. It's not him sort of saying definitely that Mustafi is staying. That's according to what I'm reading there into that. And if he did sell Mustafi, that would then mean we need a centre-back. Who's he going to buy? Is he going to go and get a Van Dijk or somebody like that? All up in the air, really. But the big news is that Thomas Lemar to Arsenal will not be happening. Lemar, the deal is dead. That is coming from Arsene Wenger himself. Monaco refusing to sell him at the moment. And it begs the question, what's happening, going to happen with Arsenal for the rest of this transfer window? 7 days to go, remember. Remember yesterday I asked the question, do you think that it's been a good transfer window? Of course, with Lacazette, we've bought in Kolasinac. Do you think it's been a good transfer window? And do you think, the more specific question is, do you think the current squad that we have is good enough to win the Premier League? Now, 87% of you said no, that squad is not good enough to win the Premier League. And we all want to win the Premier League. So that means that 87% of you believe that we should be going out there and buying more players or strengthening that squad to give us a chance to win the Premier League. And are we going to get anybody else? 7 days left. You know, could we be seeing more players going out? I mean, when you look through Arsenal at the moment, I mean, I remember Arsene Wenger, I think it was last week, saying that he's been pleased with the transfer window. How he can be pleased with it, I really don't know. Lemar's not happening now, so how can he be pleased with that? The uncertainty about Alexis Sanchez, he was asked about that today. On the one positive, he was saying that Alexis Sanchez has accepted the fact that he's not going to be sold and that he's going to be staying at the club. So I hope that's true, and he should be available to play on Sunday. But then we're hearing rumours that City might come in with a £70 million bid for Alexis Sanchez before the end of the transfer window. But Arsene Wenger insisting that he's going to be staying. Oxlade-Chamberlain, another uncertainty. Arsene Wenger saying that Oxlade-Chamberlain owes it to the club to stay because of the time that they spent developing him at the club. But we're hearing that Chelsea might make a £35 million bid and he owes it to the club. I mean, I wonder what Lucas Perez is saying about something like that. Footballers nowadays, they want the best deal for themselves. And can you really blame them? Because the clubs want the best deal for them as well. So, but certainly Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's not signed yet. Ozil is still not signed yet. You know, Jack Wilshere, what's happening with him? He's not signed a new deal yet. Is he staying? Is he going? Is he going to figure in the plans? And there's still players to get out. There's Debuchy still here. Debuchy is still an Arsenal player at the moment. Kieran Gibbs is still here. Lucas Perez, who should be going out. Lucas Perez should be going out. Looks like he's going to be heading to Deportivo. but that looks like that will see Arsenal taking a loss on the fee that they paid for him last season, but he should be on his way out. What about Joel Campbell yesterday? I'd forgotten about him. He coming out yesterday and saying that, listen, I don't want no more loan moves. And I don't blame the kid. Loan after loan after loan since he's joined Arsenal. He says he doesn't want any loan moves. So, again, you're going to either have to keep him or sell him. Theo Walcott, there's a lot of people suggesting that he should be sold, but I very much doubt that will happen. He's on £140,000 a week. Nobody out there is going to be prepared to match those sort of wages. You know, Callum Chambers, what happens with him now? Is he going to stay at Arsenal if they possibly sell Mustafi? Because from Wenger's statement today, it's not 100% clear that he's looking to keep Mustafi. Or are we going to keep Callum, or are we going to sell Callum Chambers? Who knows? I'll tell you, it's all up in the air. It's all a bit messy at the moment. I can't see how Arsene Wenger can say that he's been pleased with this window, and 7 days left to get any players in. And remember, we've seen the inflated prices of the transfer window, the Neymar deal, the amount of money that's been asked for Coutinho, or being offered for Coutinho right now, and people like that. Whoever Arsenal try to move and get, it's going to cost a lot of money, which suggests to me that if they do try and get anybody, it's going to be almost like a deadline day deal. But pleased with the window, Arsene? You can't be. Surely you can't be pleased with the window. But the big news today is that the Thomas Lemar deal is dead, and that has come from Arsene Wenger himself. What do you guys think of the state of the transfers of Arsenal this summer after getting off to such a great start? It really does seem like we've stalled. As I said, 87% of you say we can't win the league with this squad. What do you guys think? I'll be really interested to hear from you in the comments below. But looks like we're in for another one of those deadline day specials here on ArsenalFanTV.